Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to begin today's practice in a nice, easy seat of your choice. I've chosen to elevate my hips today for the settling in portion of our practice. So, however you feel comfortable, just go ahead and take a couple minutes to get there. When you arrive in your comfortable seat, close your eyes. Let's begin to sit up really tall, rooting down through the seat and reaching through the crown of the head. Allow the shoulders to relax down the back, softening, finding support from the earth beneath us, finding support of the spine, of our physical body. And maybe taking a couple cleansing breaths just to settle into this practice today, just to kind of clear away, to unravel. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. A couple more, just like that. Inhaling through the nose. Opening the mouth and exhaling. Just knowing that the breath has the power to unravel any knots within the body, within the mind. Last one, inhale through the nose, big breath in. Open the mouth and exhale, maybe even shake it out or wiggle it out. Just settling in. I'd like to talk today about starting over. How many times in your life have you had to start over? It can be scary, but if we want real lasting change in our lives, we have to become okay. We have to become comfortable with starting over. Beginning again after failure or after things just get messed up can sometimes feel disheartening. But if we change our focus and shift that focus to the beginning again, to the starting over, rather than the reason we have to start over, it can totally change our perspective. There's so much opportunity within that beginning again. Coming back to the teachings of the practice time and time again, just as many times as you need to. Whether it's in your meditation practice, your spiritual practice, or just your life in general. Embrace the starting over and try not to dwell on whatever has dissolved that has led us to this need to start over. Just come back to the breath. Let's bring the focus to that breath, taking a deep breath in through the nose, and drawing that breath all the way down to the seat, really feeling that seat beneath us, that sturdy foundation. Allowing that breath to move throughout the body, lifting us, lifting the upper body, lifting the crown of the head, and expanding the body. There is beauty, magic, security, just in focusing on the breath, just in noticing the breath. Remembering that every breath is a chance for a new beginning. Each inhale is a new beginning. Continue to focus on that breath, really filling up the body, making space. And on the exhales, pressing everything out, settling into the rhythm and the spaciousness. And if you lose your focus, that's okay. If you lose your rhythm, that's okay. It's not a failure. It's a chance for a new beginning. Just begin again. Just come back to that breath. Bring the focus back to it. Maybe to the tips of the nose, to the tip of the nose, to the nostrils, just really feeling that breath as it enters the body. Following it all the way down. And then following it all the way out of the body, seeing if you can press every bit of breath out, maybe pressing out a little more when you come all the way to the bottom. Our consistency and our dedication to our practice is often interrupted, and we're called to begin again, to come back to that starting line with a beginner's mindset. When you are called to begin again, just start over. Just drop everything you think you know about yoga, everything you think you know about meditation, everything you think you know about how it's supposed to go, and just start over from the beginning. That beginner's mind is such a cherished thing to have. Moving through our practice, moving through our breath without expectation. It's a fresh opportunity to be open. So let's keep it simple today. What do you want to open yourself up to in the coming months ahead as we collectively start again? Create space in the mind and body for what is to come. Open your mind and your heart and welcome in fresh breath, joy, opportunity, and self-love. Starting over is not failing. If you want real change, become okay with starting over. Let's take a few more breaths to get settled in. Begin to blink the eyes open, keeping the gaze focused down. And when you're ready, on an inhale, lift the arms up. Big stretch, maybe letting your gaze follow. As you exhale, let the fingertips drift down. We're going to reach the left fingertips toward the ground, or maybe a block if your hips are elevated. Sometimes it helps to bring a block over. Or if you're seated on the mat, you can just place your hand on the mat beside you. Finding that foundation, finding that support. Inhale the right arm up and over, big stretch to the side, keeping that right hip pinned down. Reaching the right hip or the right seat bone toward the mat and reaching the fingertips up and over. Keep the chin lifted. So we don't want to roll forward unless you find some nice easy movement here that, you find that sweet spot sometimes. Continue with big breaths. Inhale to center. We're going to switch sides. So if you've got a block, take it to the other side. Place the hand on it. Find your support. Inhale the left fingertips up and over, bending through the right elbow, keeping the left hip reaching or seated, rooted down into the mat or whatever you're seated on. Maybe finding some easy, gentle twisting movement to find a really good stretch. Inhale, back to center. Let's do it one more time on each side. So take that block over to the other side. If you're using it, inhale the right arm up and over. Big stretch. Inhale to center, other side. Left arm up on an inhale and over. Using the breath. Inhale to center. Let the hands rest on the lap. Take a big inhale in. As you exhale, take the left ear to the left shoulder. Reach the right shoulder down, just finding a nice big stretch through the right side of the neck. Maybe taking the gaze down to the ground a little bit, just like in our side bend stretches, finding that sweet spot, maybe up to the ceiling a little bit. Maybe drawing the chin in or extending it out, just slowly, gently. Inhale back to center and take it over to the other side. Find your stretch. Inhale to center. Let's take a look over our left shoulder, just turning the neck. Inhale to center, send it over the right shoulder. Inhale to center. Let's take a deep breath. Send the gaze up, maybe drawing the shoulders back to find expansion through the chest. And as you exhale, from chin to chest, navel to spine. And bring it back to center. We're going to come off of our seat and come down onto our backs. When you get there, send the legs out long. Maybe reach forward to get the shoulders out from underneath you. Send the left leg out long. Draw the right knee into the chest. Give it a big squeeze. Flexing through both feet. Maybe rolling the right ankle one way and then the other. Really sending that heel toward the end of the mat. And using the breath to find that stretch, to find the expansion in the body, to start to release. Take that right knee in the, you can wrap the arm around it or just in the right hand is totally fine. We're going to take the left palm and plant it on the mat, arm out to a T, and let the right leg fall out to the right. So just drawing it out to the right, flexing through the foot. Try to keep both hips on the mat, so we don't want to roll up onto that right hip. Flexing through the left foot and really engaging that left leg can help. Inhale back to center, give it a squeeze. Grab peace fingers around the big toes of the right foot, the big toe of the right foot, assuming you only have one. Or reaching for the outer edges of the foot, like a half happy baby, still extending through that left heel. Just allowing your body to feel the stretch. Using the breath to relax into it. Let's draw it in and send the right leg out long. Maybe give it a little wiggle or press the heels into the mat to find that curve in the low back. You should be able to slide your hand beneath the small of your back. Draw the left knee in, flexing through both feet, really sending that right heel toward the end of the mat, toward the top of the mat, I guess it is, and drawing the left knee in, maybe making circles one way with the ankle or the other way. Left knee into the left hand or into the crook of your elbow if that feels better, drawing that left knee out. Make sure you're rooting down the right hip. Right arm can be out to a T, palm down. Still flexing through both feet. Inhale to draw it in. Give it a squeeze. And half happy baby. So whatever makes your baby happy. If you want to wrap the toe or grab outer edge of the foot. I'm so used to doing this with 2 feet in the air. Find your stretch. This is your practice. Just be open to receive. Be open to what's going to come through for you today. Big breaths, make space. Clear out that breath. So good. It's our greatest tool for clearing the mind, for clearing the body. Draw the leg in, give it a little squeeze, and send it out long. Compress both heels into the mat. Bend the knees, bringing the feet to the mat. Turn to one side and begin to press yourself up. Coming to tabletop, bringing the hands, the wrists beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips. Set yourself up for greatness. Find your foundation. And when you're ready, curl the toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog, pedal it out. Be nice to the hamstrings. Really pressing into the index finger and the thumb, drawing the navel in, lifting the hips. There's an outer rotation of the shoulders. Big breaths. Seeing if we can find some stillness and press evenly into the hands and feet. So pay attention to the ground beneath you. Pay attention to your hands, to the bottoms of your feet. If your heels aren't touching the mat, that's perfectly fine. Bend the knees. Find that space in the low back. On an inhale, let the gaze travel forward. And as you exhale, make your way there. Take a nice slow walk today. Just take your time and come to forward fold. Let the upper body hang loose. Maybe wiggle it out, shake it out. On an inhale, half lift. Reaching the crown of the head forward. Reach the tail back, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to fold. Root down through the feet as you rise up slowly. Reach, reach, reach. Palms touch. Exhale, draw it into the heart. Take a moment to pay attention to the bottoms of your feet. Every great new beginning starts with a sturdy, strong foundation, with an awareness of the earth beneath our feet, the ground beneath our feet. So pay attention to the bottoms of your feet, maybe lifting the toes and setting them down one at a time. Draw the shoulders back. Lift the crown of the head. On an inhale, reach. As you exhale, fold forward, letting the heart fold forward first. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms. Step it straight back into downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Reconnect with that foundation. Close your eyes and draw your focus to that foundation, reaching the hips up high. Get strong. On an inhale, send the gaze forward. As you exhale, make your way there and fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root down, rise up, reach. Exhale, draw it in. Check in with that foundation. Check in with the breath. Take that sacred pause. Don't skip it. On an inhale, reach. Scoop up all that goodness. Exhale, fold forward, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Find length in the spine, really reaching the crown of the head forward and reaching the tail back. Exhale to fold. Plant the palms, step it back to downward facing dog. Notice that your heels might come a little closer to the ground now. Your tail might be lifting a little higher toward the ceiling. Your shoulders are rotating. Your arms feel stronger. We've got that prana moving, that energy flowing. Let's do one more sun salutation. Inhaling to gaze forward, exhaling to make your way there and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Big breath in, big reach. Exhale, draw it into the heart. Again, checking in with that foundation. As I said before, every great new beginning starts with a sturdy, strong foundation, an awareness of the ground beneath our feet, a sense of balance. So maybe shift the weight back and forth to find that balance. Draw the navel into the spine for some strength in the core. And have trust in that foundation. You have to have trust in that foundation before you can take your first step. So speaking of steps, lift the right toes. Take a step back. Try to step back without looking down, just trusting that the ground is there to catch you, trusting in your ability. Drop the back heel parallel to the back of the mat. We're coming into warrior two. Arms out, knee over ankle. Tracking this knee toward the pinky toe. Check in with your foundation. Drawing the legs toward one another, pressing down. We're taking basic foundational poses today and building on them. So as in yoga, so in life, right? We have that basic foundation. Sturdy, strong foundation. We have trust in that foundation to take the first step. And then we have the will to build on that foundation, to grow. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the forearm to the knee. Right arm comes up and over the right ear. Pressing down into that right foot, the knife's edge of that right foot. And we want to be pressing up out of this shoulder. We don't want to collapse into it, but spinning the belly, ribs, and chest open, big reach, straight line of energy, diagonal line of energy from that foot, that back foot, out through the fingertips. Keep the neck in alignment with the spine, and big breaths here. If this is where you want to be today, if this feels good, if this is a Big stretch, and this is where your building stops today. That is a beautiful thing. If you would like to build onto this basic foundational pose, you can travel along with me. We're going to slide this left hand down to the ground or to a block or just to the inside of the left knee. Reach the right fingertips up, 12 and 6. Really open the shoulders. And this might be where you stop today. Honor your body, honor where you're at. If you would like to build on this, reach the left hand under the left leg. Big breath in as you reach the right fingertips back, maybe finding that bind today. Keep breathing big breaths. If you'd like to stay here today, feel free to stay here, or if you need to start over, if something doesn't feel right and you need to come out of it and maybe come back in, there's nothing wrong with starting over. If we're going forward with this, let's go ahead and shift forward, bringing the shoulder beneath the left knee. So our right heel is off the ground, both hands planted on the mat, really pressing into both palms, pressing the mat away from you. Maybe you stay here in sort of a modified lizard, big stretch, or maybe you begin to press through the left heel and straighten that leg. No expectations, right? Take a step back into plank. Wherever you're at, make your way to plank. I told you not to have any expectations today. Take a deep breath in as you exhale, lower down, chaturanga. You can come all the way down to the belly or take it straight into up dog, your choice. As you exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. On an inhale, send the gaze forward. As you exhale, make your way there and fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Exhale, draw it in. Take a moment to check in with that foundation, to check in with your strength, your balance, your focus. Inhale to lift the left toes. Exhale to take a step back, maybe without looking, and come into warrior two. Check in with that foundation. Knee over ankle, tracking that knee toward the pinky toe. So we're opening the entire front of the body, drawing these shoulders together and down. No expectations for our practice today, just being open to what the universe has in store for us. Just journeying along, adventuring today. Big inhale in. As you exhale, bring the forearm to the knee, left arm up and over, bicep by the ear, spinning belly, ribs, and chest open. I want you to find your edge and breathe there until it's no longer an edge. As in yoga, so in life. I'm saying it again, because that's what we do, right? We find our edge until it becomes a comfort zone, and then we push past. That's how we build. That's how we grow. If you're ready and moving to the next bus stop, if you will, slide the right arm down, reach the left fingertips high, 12 and 6 on the arms, drawing the shoulders away from one another. Again, breathing there until it becomes a comfort zone. Maybe finding that bind by reaching under the right knee with the right arm, and big breath in as you reach back with the left fingertips, finding that bind. Keep the neck in alignment with the spine. If you're staying here, that is amazing. You're not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. If you're moving along, send the gaze down to the floor. Begin to pivot on that back foot, maybe sliding that right shoulder beneath the right knee. And there's nothing wrong with trying and falling and beginning again. Get okay with having to start over. Having to begin again is not failure. It's the chance for a new beginning, right? The opportunity for a fresh start. If you're ready, begin to press into those hands. Send your gaze out in front of the mat and maybe press through that right heel, lifting and stretching, and then send it back to plank. Chaturanga to up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's all drop the knees. Send the knees as wide as the yoga mat, big toes touch. Send the hips back, snuggle in, reach the fingertips out, and let your forehead rest on the mat. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can always bring a block beneath the forehead. And let your forehead rock back and forth on it. It feels amazing. Sort of a massage for that third eye, releasing any tension present there. Big breaths. Take a moment in child's pose to reconnect with that breath, to reconnect with your focus, to allow the breath space in the body, to make space in the body with the breath. Find that center, and I always like to stop mid-practice and take a child's pose and just ask myself, how have I changed? How has my physical body changed? How do I feel different physically since the beginning of my practice? How has my energy level changed? How have I changed mentally, emotionally, even spiritually since the beginning of this practice? Let's begin to curl the toes under, press into the hands, and lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. On an inhale, send the gaze forward. As you exhale, make your way there and fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Big breath in, find expansion. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, draw it in. Take a moment to send yourself some grace, some love. To tap into that peace. And when you're ready, begin to focus on the bottoms of the feet. Shift the weight into the left foot and lift the right toes. We're going toward tree today. So if you take tree with your toe on the ground, you can lower the toes back down to the ground, maybe on the calf today. Same stretch, same balance, same pose. It's not better or worse. Maybe you reach down and draw that foot into the inner thigh. really pressing the bottom of the foot into the thigh, pressing the thigh into the bottom of the foot, drawing the shoulders out, setting your drishti, setting your focal point, your gaze, and drawing everything into the center, rooting down and rising up. Starts with that foundation and then building on that strong foundation. So if you're coming along with us to the next stop, shift the foot forward, flex through the foot, right knee is parallel, right thigh is parallel to the ground. And if you're ready, begin to shift the upper body forward, straighten, send that right heel toward the back of the mat. Gaze can go down to the ground. Toes are pointed down, hips are squared, strong belly. If you want to keep your hands here, that's perfectly fine. You can do airplane arms. You can reach the arms out in front of you. Big breaths. Strong legs. When you're ready, draw it in. See if you can draw it all the way back in without setting that foot down, trusting your foundation. And here we are again. See if you can cross that right ankle over the left knee. Press the right knee back toward the back of the mat. Take a couple breaths here. Maybe bringing the hands to heart center. If you're ready to travel on, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to sit the hips back, maybe reaching the fingertips out or down at your sides, or leave the hands at heart center. Big stretch through that right hip, flex through the right foot. If you're ready to take this a little bit further, begin to straighten through the left knee and find the right fingertips on the ground. Big breaths. Drop the right foot to the mat, forward fold. Take a moment to maybe wiggle it out, shake it out, bend and straighten. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Exhale, draw it in. Taking a moment to tap in with that foundation, tap in with the ground beneath you, knowing that the earth is always there to support you. She's got you. Start to root down through that right foot and find tree on the other side. So toe can be on the ground, drawing the shoulders back, belly in, reaching the crown of the head up. You can take it to the calf, or as before, we can draw it into the upper thigh. Honor where you're at. Wherever it is, it's exactly where you need to be. Everything is as it should be always, right? That's such a freeing thought to have, I think. If you're ready to move on, bring the knee, the thigh parallel to the floor, flexing through the foot. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to send that foot toward the back of the mat, flexing through the heel, sending your gaze down. If you fall, that's fine. Start again. Maybe reaching the fingertips forward. And when you're ready, drawing it back through. Seeing if we can one-leg it all the way through and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Big breath in. When you're ready, sink the hips down. Feel that stretch through the left hip. And if you feel called, begin to straighten through the right knee and fold forward. Place the right foot on the ground. Maybe sway back and forth. The left foot on the ground. Both feet on the ground. Oh boy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Take a step back into downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale the right toes high. As you exhale, draw it in. Knee to nose, grip through the fingertips, and see if you can, with control, set that right foot down behind the left wrist. Slowly lowering yourself down into pigeon. If pigeon is not your thing, you can always come onto the back, cross the right ankle over the left, lift the left leg. That gives you the same stretch through the outer right hip. Pressing into the back foot, flexing through the right foot, sitting up really tall. And maybe when you're ready, begin to fold over the front leg. Maybe bringing a block there to support you. Big breaths. Allowing the body to surrender. And when you're ready, begin to press yourself back up, planting the palms, curling the toes, lifting that back knee to support it, to protect it, and pressing into the hands to take it back to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. On an inhale, reach the left toes high. As you exhale, draw them in, cat through the back. Set it down, slowly lower down into pigeon, making yourself comfortable. Take a few breaths. And maybe when you're ready, begin to fold over the front leg, allowing the upper body to release, allowing the legs to surrender. Take deep breaths into any tension you feel. Again, knowing that the breath has the power to unravel, to release that tension. And when you're ready, begin to press into the hands to lift yourself up. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and press yourself back into downward facing dog. Take a gaze to the top of the mat. As you exhale, bend the knees and hop, hop, or one big hop or several little hops to come to the top of the mat. Sit the hips down and take it back to a seat, legs extended, or Dandasana, staff pose. Find your seat bones by manually interspiraling the thighs, pulling your seat cushions to the side, flexing through the feet, pressing the calves into the mat, sitting up really tall. So this is called staff pose. If you imagine your spine as a staff, now we know that the spine is not a straight line, but it has an S curve to it. But if you think of your spine energetically as a staff, or a straight line of energy from the seat bones through the crown of your head, take a few deep breaths, feeling into that energy, that rooting down and rising up, that lifting through the crown of the head. You might use a strap or a belt for this if you have one. If not, just fold as far as you can. That's what we do, right? We do what we can, the best we can with what we have. Take a deep breath in when you're ready, maybe wrapping a strap or a belt around the bottoms of the feet and drawing yourself down. If you don't have a strap, you're just going to inhale the arms up high, and as you exhale, reach, sending the heart forward first. You want the heart to travel forward first. So the reason I say send your heart forward first is so you don't do this and try to get your nose to your knee. We want to lift, and then stretch, reach. Lots of energy up through the fingertips, heart traveling toward your knees or toward your shins. And then let the upper body fold in, just relax. Take a few really deep breaths, releasing the low back, soft belly. Inhale to rise up slowly. Exhale to take it down onto your back. Soles of the feet to come together, knees go out wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. Let's bring both hands to the belly today. Just breathing into those hands, sending the breath to the belly. Maybe bringing to mind or bringing to focus one thing that you have learned about yourself in this practice today. Maybe bringing into mind or bringing into focus one thing that you would like to create or focus on or manifest in the coming months. Something that you would like to start, whether it's starting over with this particular thing or just beginning for the first time. And when you're ready, draw both knees into the chest, giving them a big squeeze, maybe rocking side to side, drawing circles with the knees one way and then the other. Send the arms out to a T, palms down. Let the knees fall over to the right. Let your gaze fall over to the left. Shoulders, both shoulders on the mat. Inhale back to center. And exhale, take it over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Give those knees one more really good squeeze into the belly. Maybe a little rock for a massage. And as you exhale, send feet toward the ceiling, straighten the legs, relax the shoulders for waterfall. You could elevate the hips here with a block or a blanket or a bolster, a pillow, anything you have. Feels really nice, elevating the hips above the heart, allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in, which is the opposite of our fight or flight mechanism. Anytime we lift the hips above the heart, it activates that relaxation. It's why legs up the wall is such a great pose. Shoulder stand, plow, any kind of headstand, just simply lifting the feet toward the ceiling. I love legs up the wall for Shavasana. It's so relaxing. And when you're ready, begin to lower the legs, slowly removing whatever you might be elevated on, rolling the hips down, sending the legs out long, letting the feet fall out to the sides. Close the eyes, flip the palms open toward the ceiling, arms relaxed down by your side, and take up as much space as you'd like today. Get comfortable, settle in, making whatever adjustments you need. And begin the process of allowing your body to just let go. Allowing your mind to let go more than anything. Allowing our bodies to do what they know how to do so naturally. Sending all of that energy we just cultivated in that practice to all the places in our body and our brain that they need to go, that it needs to go most of all, because our bodies know what they need. Allow yourself to remain in Shavasana as long as you want today. I really have been encouraging long Shavasanas. Stay as long as you can. But when you're ready, when you're truly ready, begin to draw some awareness back into the body. Maybe turn to one side and slowly roll up into a seat. When you arrive in that seat, close your eyes. Bring the hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in, the deepest breath you've taken in all day. And as you exhale, send out some trust. Trust in your foundations. Trust in your ability. Trust in new beginnings. Trusting that the universe is working for you always, always for you, and that everything is as it should be always. And as you leave here today, remember to take the peacefulness, the reflection, and the strength of yoga, along with any lessons you may have learned about yourself on the mat today, and apply them to your daily lives. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you.